Thanks for joining us here on Fox Local. I'm Luann Sorrell. We continue to follow a big breaking story in downtown Orlando. You may remember just a couple of nights ago, the state covered over the Pulse Memorial Crosswalk in downtown Orlando, just outside the Pulse site, and that has infuriated tons of people. There have been protests out there now for the second night in a row. So we want to get out to Fox 35's Randy Hildreth. She is live at the Pulse Memorial Crosswalk, where people just painted new colors onto that. And Randy, I understand that is actual paint. That's not chalk like we've been seeing over the past couple of days.
Yeah, so yesterday we know that people came out here and filled the crosswalk with chalk. They did it again this morning, but what you were seeing on the ground now is dry paint. It took them about 15 minutes to get all of the paint in place. You can hear people honking. If we pan just a little to the left, you can see the group that is gathered here today. You may be able to hear honking in the background of people who are passing by and honking to show their support of what is going on. What I want to do now is bring in Jen Cousins, and you are one of the organizers of what happened here today. So one, walk me through why you felt like this was an important next step.
So ultimately, we're sick of the fascism that is trying to destroy our LGBTQ plus community in Florida. This is Pulse. This is a very sacred site. Before this, Orlando didn't get any notices like the other towns that are under fire for their crosswalks. They just came in under the cover of darkness and desecrated this sacred space. And you know, we said, no, we're not going to let that happen. We're sick of it. We're going to push back. State officials don't want to put, county officials, city officials don't want to push back. We're going to. And so it was, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this fascism anymore.
Talk a little bit more about the message, because I know that it was as you just mentioned, it was important for you to show to the state, to FDOT, that, you know, chalk isn't just going to do it, and there could be some repercussions that come from this.
There could, yes. And everybody in the coalition that we organized with today is willing and ready, happy participants to say, no, we're not putting up with this anymore. You know, it's worth it for a lot of us. We are all a huge queer community. We have queer children, and we're sick of it. We're sick of being pushed down, beaten down, and having the state come after us. So DeSantis can rail against us all he wants, but we're not going away. We're not going anywhere.
Understood. To hear people honking, and I know people passing by may not know what you have done, but this is the second day that people have been out here. To hear people honking in support of you all being here in general, what does that mean? Or what message do you think that shows?
It's incredible support, incredible support. It shows us that Orlando isn't going to put up with this, right? Orlando's strong ever since Pulse. We're not going to let this fly. Our city is all about love, and we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let hate live here.
Next step. So I know that we have done this, or I know that this has been done. Is this it, or is there a next?
Would you like to come in? Do we have a next step?
Next steps.
I know what I want the community to do. I want the people of Orlando to come out in the dead of night if they feel like it and paint their crosswalks. I don't want this to be one and done. I want people to come out and put their rainbows out there, put their messages out there, despite what Florida deems is inappropriate.
I can hear the emotion in your voice. I know that it probably was a lot of emotion because, you know, you were one of the people who was painting. So walk me through the emotions that you're feeling right now.
I was afraid. I do not know necessarily what the repercussions of this action will be. I'm ready to accept them. The point of civil disobedience is that the point of civil disobedience is that the punishment outweighs the crime. I painted a crosswalk for people that died. If that makes me in trouble, so be it.
One more thing, because I know we talked before this happened, and you talked about being having a child, and what your daughter told you.
My daughter came up to me the other day, and she told me, keep doing what you're doing, keep protesting, maybe it'll work someday.
Do you feel like today worked?
It'll work if people don't stop showing up and doing things to disrupt the establishment.
Understood. Well, thank you so much for taking a moment to speak with us. I do want to give viewers a closer look at the crosswalk now. So you have the rainbow colors here. Again, overnight, FDOT, overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning, repainted this as we know, this used to be a rainbow colored crosswalk. FDOT overnight Wednesday to Thursday morning repainted this so it was black and white. Over the last 2 days, yesterday and today, people were coming out and putting chalk in place, but the group that is organized today did something a little bit more permanent and put the rainbow colors in place with paint. They have this area blocked off, and if we turn the camera this way, you can see this area also blocked off on Orange Avenue and West Esther. And if you see in the distance, again, right in front of the Pulse Memorial, and the sentiments that I've talked to when I spoke with Pulse survivors and organizers today is that this was very frustrating. This was very triggering, considering what happened just feet away from where this crosswalk is. And, as you just heard, they hope that people get the message, the state and the governor and the powers that be, that at least, this group in the city of Orlando won't stand for the removal of this crosswalk, this rainbow crosswalk. I'll send it back to you. Live tonight, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
Yeah, Randy, before I let you go, I just have a couple questions for you. We know that rainbow crosswalk was originally put down back in 2017, 1 year after the tragedy there. 49 people lost their lives at the Pulse nightclub. So that means it's been in place for 8 years. It's been there. City leaders didn't have a problem with it. County leaders did not have a problem with it. It appeared state leaders did not have a problem with it. Why now did the state deem that they needed to come out there and remove the rainbow?
And if you remember when the Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer, I believe he released a statement yesterday, and in it he talked about when this was put in place, the coordination that was done with the state to make sure that this was going to be okay. Fast forward a couple weeks ago, the Trump administration sent notice to every governor in the country that they would have to take action, or he was advising that states not have things like this, that any artwork and crosswalks that he felt sent a political message or that took away from pedestrian safety. Governor DeSantis, in a post on X yesterday, doubled down on that, saying that he wouldn't tolerate crosswalks that were rainbow colored, as we have seen be removed here in Orlando. I know when we covered this story yesterday, we also reached out to FDOT, who provided some additional information saying that their 2025 design manual had very strict guidance on what crosswalks should look like, what compliance looked like, what pavement should look like, and essentially saying that when it was in the rainbow colors originally, as it had been for years, that it had come out of compliance based on those 2025 guidelines. But again, it has been painted again by the community, giving that a strong message that yes, you may have put this in place, but this is how we feel.
I have a feeling that things are going to change in the next couple of days. We don't know if FDOT's going to then come out overnight. Now tonight, we'll have to wait and see and paint over it again, making it black or white. But we do know that there is a permanent Pulse Memorial that is in the works right behind you for that Pulse property. And when we went to you earlier tonight, you talked to some people who now fear that maybe that's not going to stand under this new administration. Any word on what's happening with the permanent Pulse Memorial?
Well, we know that the city has voted to move forward with choosing a developer for that bill. They're working with a development company out of Winter Park to get that permanent memorial in place. I believe they're looking at construction to start next June 2027 to have that permanent Pulse Memorial in place. But as you mentioned, I spoke with a Pulse survivor today. He said, and he is still living with the physical and mental impacts of that, said about 2 months ago he had just had another surgery because of complications from injuries he sustained in the Pulse nightclub shooting, and he has real fears just in the history of actually making the Pulse nightclub, or excuse me, the Pulse Memorial happen. He hopes that it is still, wheels in motion and it will actually be erected. But also he was saying he hopes that what we saw this week with the removal by FDOT of that rainbow crosswalk, he hopes that that's not foreshadowing what could come once that Pulse Memorial is up to honor the victims, the survivors, and their families.
Randy, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us for our special coverage here on Fox Local. We will have much more on this story coming up on Fox 35 News after the volleyball game.